Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my presentation. Thank you all for coming here today. Let me start by saying just a few words about my own background. I'm an undergraduate student of anthropology at Universitas Erlangga, and as you can see on the screen, our topic is cross-cousin marriage among the Yanomamo shows evidence of parents-offspring conflict and mate competition between brothers. This topic based on a journal article by Chagnon et al. Today's topic is of particular interest to those of you who living in traditional society and familiar with marriage tradition. And there will be time for question after my presentation, of course. So what happened to society with a kinship marriage system? There are conflict between parents and children as well as conflict between brothers in a society with a kinship marriage system. Parent-child conflict occurs because parents control the child's matchmaking. Control by parents also has an impact on conflict over their sons. In a year, I've divided my presentation into three main parts: identifying Yanomamo, cross-cousin marriage, and conflict in Yanomamo related to kin marriage. Now I'll begin off by identifying the Yanomamo. The Yanomamo is an indigenous and soft-French tribe living in the northern Amazon, a long border between Brazil and Venezuela. Yanomamo community has a culture of patrilocal, polygynous, patrilineal, prescriptive bilateral cross-cousin marriage system, and marriage exchange. Next, I'll focus on kin marriage. Prescriptive bilateral cross-cousin marriage system are marriage in which male marries a female cross-cousins or vice versa. The cross-cousin is obtained from the child of a relative of the opposite sex of the parent. Yanomamo marriage are arranged by the parents or an adult male of a patrilineal descent group, but person can still marry someone outside of his relative. However, this sometimes leads to problems, so that I'm classifying this point to the deviation. And there is an incident where a father manipulates family relation, like making his niece become his sister so that his son can marry the sister's daughter. And then I'll go on to highlight this part, the origin of cross-cousin. Exchanging spouses with close relatives may be driven by contingent reciprocity. One of the biggest problems with high-stake exchanges is when there are long legs that give rise to the defection. This is very important when giving a daughter in a marriage exchange. Therefore, parents avoid a defection by arranging marriage exchange with close relatives. And do you guess another benefit of kin marriage? Another added benefit of kin marriage is that it strengthens the kinship network. It also forms alliance between bloodline groups from mother lineage or in the father's lineage. Okay, now we will discuss the main part of this topic. But are you all following me so far? Because we have to give attention to this part. Parents and children can have different preference. Parents tend to choose a partner for their child based on the family background. They really expect a relative's marriage because it's seen as more beneficial. Meanwhile, children are more concerned with the genetic aspects. The benefit of kin marriage and marriage exchange are that parents can get a bride for their son so that there are more grandchildren. Okay, here's the other conflict, my competition between brothers. There are two causes. They are patriarchality and polygynous. Patriarchality can encourage mate rivalry between brothers who often live together as adults. A polygynous culture can exacerbate rivalry between men, so male-male alliances are less common than sister-sister alliance or brother-sister alliance. And finally, what conclusion can we take away from this? So here are the conclusion. Individual preference for partner may be less important than parental control over matchmaking. And I want to highlight that the cause of conflict are specifically parents' control and marriage exchange, not cross-cousin marriage. Actually, cross-cousin marriage become at least a partial resolution to the matchmaking rivalry between siblings. Okay, that's all from me. We just have time for a few questions. Okay, if there's no more question, I will close this presentation. Thank you for your attention.